Now, Ms. Hoy, you testified about a couple of things on direct examination that I want to make sure I heard correctly.
Okay.
The first thing, you testified that the briefcases that Bancroft and Covington had were distinguishable.
Yes.
You're certain of that?
Yes.
Now, do you remember making an affidavit?
Yes, I do.
And when making that affidavit, you swore to tell the truth,
Yes.
and you did so.
Yes.
And if you saw that affidavit again, you would stand by it.
Yes.
Permission to approach opposing counsel?
Permission granted.
And the witness?
Go ahead.
Do you recognize what I've just handed you?
Yes, it's my affidavit.
All right. Now, please read silently while I read aloud lines 194 to 195. Exhibit 1 is a briefcase like the one that Bancroft and Covington had at the blackjack table in the VIP room on April 16th. I couldn't tell you whose briefcase it is. Did I read that correctly?
Yes, you did. However, I couldn't tell which ones belonged to who.
Okay, so for the clarity of the court, when you said the one that Bancroft and Covington had, you meant there were really two, but they were so similar that you decided to say one. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And if you could hold on to that for a minute more, there's one other thing. You also testified that Bancroft and Covington always played at the center table.
Yes.
Now, also when you wrote your affidavit, you swore to be complete and exclude nothing relevant. And you complied with that, didn't you?
Yes.
Permission to approach opposing counsel once more.
Go ahead.
Now, Ms. Hoy, could you please point me to the lines where you mentioned that?
I'm sorry, what do you want me to point to?
You said a moment ago that Covington and Bancroft always play at the center table in the VIP room.
I said that they play there often, yes.
Often, fair enough. You still said it. You said it on direct.
Yes.
And I would like to see where in your affidavit you said that. Any luck finding it? How much longer do you think you'll be needing?
Not much longer, I believe. I believe that line 156 through 158 helps that.
For the clarity of the court, read silently as I read aloud again. Lines 156 to 158. During the renovation, the security cameras were changed. Now, one looks down at the top of the table, and the other, which should have monitored the backs of the players at that table, no longer exists. That is lines 156 to 158. Yes?
Mhm.
And you just said that explains where in your affidavit you said Bancroft and Covington often play at the center blackjack table. Is that your testimony?
Yes.
All right, fair enough. Now let's talk about a few things that we can both agree you did discuss in your affidavit. Let's talk about April 12th. You met with Ms. Bancroft.
Yes.
At this meeting, you were talking security.
Mhm.
In particular, security for a meeting the next day,
Yes.
where you suggested, and Ms. Bancroft accepted, that no cell phones be allowed.
Correct.
in part because cell phones could record conversations best kept private. Isn't that right?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, next day then. 13th. On second thought, 15th. On that day, you had a meeting with Ms. Bancroft again,
Yes,
where Ms. Bancroft asked about the VIP room.
yes,
And she said she was only interested in the VIP room. Isn't that right?
yes,
Now, you told her that the VIP room had a blind spot,
yes,
which just so happened to be at the blackjack table that you said Covington Bancroft often went to.
yes,
You told Bancroft that you could add security cameras to get rid of the blind spot,
yes, I did.
but she wasn't interested.
No, she was not.
You offered to have additional men patrol that area to clear the blind spot,
Yes, I did.
but she wasn't interested.
No,
In fact, she had never been interested in security in the VIP room before.
no,
All right, now, let's talk about the next day. On the 16th, you were watching the security monitors,
yes,
and on that day, Covington came in. Excuse me, it was Bancroft. Bancroft came in first to the VIP room,
correct.
carrying a briefcase.
Yes,
It was just like this one, that's what you said.
yes,
And then Bancroft and that briefcase disappeared into the blind spot.
correct. They were at the table where there was very little video feed.
Yes, the 2% table, isn't that right?
Yes,
Then, later, Covington came in to the VIP room,
yes,
also with a briefcase that looked just like this,
correct.
and also disappeared into that blind spot where Bancroft had gone into and hadn't left.
Yes,
So, just for the clarity of the court, it is your testimony that Bancroft, Covington, and their briefcases, which both looked like this, went into that blind spot, the 2% of the VIP room, you couldn't see. The blind spot,
Objection, ask them to answer your own.
It is not needlessly cumulative, it is just for the clarity of the court. This cross-examination has had to take a few turns, and it would be clearest for the jury to just get this on the record definitively.
Sustained, please move on. Or, just don't repeat the same questions you've already asked. We can keep moving.
Sorry, guys.
All right. No further questions.
No redirect, Your Honor. I just asked that this witness be excused.
Would Your Honors like to take a moment before the defense calls their second witness?
Are you ready?
I'm good to go.
Go ahead.
All right, at this time, the defense would like to call second witness, Allie Thomas, to the stand.